very warm welcome to you in this New Year's first week. I'm Avasan Haydarov and you're watching UzReport World News. President Shavkat Mirziyoyev has signed a decree on the investment program for 2021-2023. It includes a cumulative investment forecast for the coming years. The program is worth 928.7 trillion soums, with a share of foreign investments amounting to $37.5 billion.
The document includes a targeted program for the creation of 226 new production facilities and more than 34 jobs in the new year. Besides, it involves consolidated targeted investment and credit development program for 2021. The project will undertake several initiatives, including measures to attract foreign direct investment and loans, as well as a list of investment projects for which pre-project and project documents need to be developed, agreed and approved. A list of prospective investment projects is to be developed in 2021. Recently, in his address to the parliament, the president set a target of mustering $23 billion investments in 2021.
According to the State Statistics Committee, Uzbekistan's exports has reached $14 billion in January-November of this year. Service, textile and food products are on the top of the list, making almost two-thirds of all Uzbek exports. Non-ferrous and ferrous metals has exceeded $1 billion altogether, whereas chemical and raw energy products made up more than $2 billion exported goods, along with the machinery and cotton. Uzbekistan is considering shifting its gears to low CO2 emission vehicles. This is stated in the Cabinet of Ministers Ordinance issued on December 29, 2020.
The document envisages scrapping internal combustion engine all vehicles in the Uz-Avtosanal system and accelerating the production of only electric transport by attracting foreign experts and consulting companies until February 1, 2021. Additionally, any imported cars will be exempt from custom duty. The Ministry of Finance will have to take this into account when formulating the budget for 2021 and subsequent years. Relevant ministries, regional administrations will have to develop a roadmap for the installation of charging stations for electric transport within 2 months. Uzbekistan has imported 73 electric vehicles worth $1.7 million from January to August this year.
The Uzbek government will raise salaries and stipends of public organization employees and students by 10%. The decision has come after President Shavkat Mirziyoyev has approved Uzbekistan's budget for 2021 on December 30th. According to the document, from February 1st, 2021, the minimum wage in Uzbekistan will be set at 747,000 soums per month. The decision also increases the amount of benefits paid to families with children under 14 years old of age by 10%. Childcare allowance until the child reaches the age of 2 is set at 434,000 soums. Financial assistance to low-income families is set at 326,000 soums. Uzbekistan's Eastern Fergana region has started using drones to detect traffic rule violations. The device will patrol the region's roads round the clock to detect traffic rule violations, as well as violation of public order and non-observance of pandemic restrictions, such as not wearing masks, the regional police department said. The Uzbek government has recently allowed its citizens to report traffic rule violations using their cell phones, and such reports will be rewarded with money starting next year. Last year, more than 1,900 people were killed and 6,700 injured in almost 8,600 motor accidents in Uzbekistan, according to official data. Uzbekistan Airways will resume flying to Tajikistan on January 5th, the airline's press service reported. The charter flight will be first this year after an almost 9-month hiatus. The flight number HY3717 will land at Dushanbe International Airport at 10:30 a.m. and will return on the same day to the Tashkent International Airport at 1300. Air tickets for the above flights have already gone on sale. However, due to the current epidemiological situation, the passengers arriving to Uzbekistan still need to get tested for the coronavirus infection presence. The decision was made by the Special Republican Commission of Uzbekistan to prevent the spread of the virus. From January 1, 2021, Uzbekistan has legalized sports betting in pursuant to a presidential decree to further development of Uzbek football in the country. However, an absence of legal basis has made it impossible to gamble on games yet. According to President Shavkat Mirziyoyev's decree signed in December 2020, The Capital Market Development Agency is the only body authorized to license bookmakers' activity. However, the agency could not do it yet because there is no legal regulation for sports betting in Uzbekistan. The last time the issue was raised when the Uzbekistan's Football Association lawyer Dilshod Nakobilov and Deputy Prime Minister Aziz Abduhakimov had an interview at the Kazakh TV channel on the benefits of bookmakers. According to officials, the Uzbek treasury loses about $50 million a year. Many gamblers travel to other countries or spend money on foreign platforms. We are losing money. That's why we need to legalize bookmakers in our country and use it for the development of domestic sports, Abduhakimov noted. One of Europe's top football divisions, La Liga, has prepared a festive video where countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, South Africa, Hungary, Mexico, China, Kenya, South Korea and Uzbekistan were filmed. Recently, Uzreport TV channel crew in collaboration with the event organizers has shot the Tashkent episodes.
To broadcast the Kickout 2020, it was decided to screen the campaign on the city's largest billboard, the Hotel Uzbekistan. Haiz Rahmani, head of La Liga Asia Relations, told Uzreport why the choice fell on Uzbekistan. La Liga has selected several icon cities around the world, for example Mexico City, Budapest, South Korean Seoul and Tashkent, which is the hub of Central Asia, will be broadcast throughout the festive season in social networks and all TV channels. This is some kind of message to 2020, which was very bad. We want to chase it away and start the next year with a clean sheet. That's why the campaign got its name Kickout 2020. We also want to become a platform for Uzbekistan and Tashkent and show people around the world the beauty of your country. Uzbek football stars Azamat Abdurahimov and Jalaluddin Masharipov, who were invited to the filming process, highly praised the cooperation between Spanish football and Uzbek side. I believe that such cooperation with La Liga is important not only for me, but for all Uzbek football fans. Maybe that event will prompt interest from the La Liga to Uzbek footballers. Therefore, this is a very remarkable event for Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid fans of Uzbekistan. We are planning several projects in 2021. It all depends on the situation with the pandemic, which we hope will improve. We wish to move even deeper into the country, to other cities, and organize big events in Samarkand and Bukhara. Currently, the discussion is underway with Uzreport TV on how to do it better and get closer to your fans.
Around 2 million doses of AstraZeneca and Oxford University's COVID-19 vaccine are set to be supplied every week by the middle of January in the UK, according to the Times newspaper. Britain approved the jab on Wednesday, hoping that rapid action would help it stem a record surge of infections driven by a highly contagious strain of the virus. The newspaper reported that AstraZeneca plans to supply 2 million doses of the vaccine in total by next week, citing an unnamed member of the Oxford AstraZeneca team. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has ordered 100 million doses for Britain as part of an agreement with the company, which has said it aims to supply millions of doses in the first quarter. AstraZeneca was not immediately available to respond to a request for comment. Britain has recorded more than 50,000 new daily cases of COVID-19 for the last 4 days.
Well, Happy New Year, Australia, for we are one and free.
Australians woke up to a new year with a new national anthem after Prime Minister Scott Morrison announced a change to the words on Thursday. The song will no longer refer to Australia as young and free, in an attempt to reflect the country's long Indigenous history. Australia has struggled for decades to reconcile with Aborigines, who arrived on the continent some 50,000 years before British colonists. Each year, the country has a national holiday, marking the date the first fleet sailed from Britain into Sydney in 1788. Some Indigenous people refer to Australia Day as Invasion Day. Morrison said the national anthem must be more reflective of the country's diversity.
Our anthem is about us, who we are and who we hope to be as well. We're a strong and vibrant liberal democracy. We live in a timeless land of ancient First Nations peoples, and we draw together the stories of more than 300 national ancestries and language groups.
The idea to change the wording was floated in 2020 by New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian, who said the current wording ignored Australia's, quote, proud First Nations culture. There is now a renewed focus on Indigenous empowerment amid the Black Lives Matter movement. BioNTech has warned of a supply gap of COVID-19 vaccines until others are approved and rolled out. The German biotech startup is working with its partner Pfizer to boost production of their vaccine. They've led the race, but their shot has been slow to arrive in the European Union due to relatively slow approval from the bloc's health regulator and the small size of the order placed by Brussels. The United States ordered 600 million doses of the vaccine in July, while the EU waited until November to place an order of half that size. The delays have caused consternation in Germany, where some regions had to temporarily close vaccination centres mere days after the launch of an inoculation drive on December 27th. BioNTech CEO told Newsweekly Spiegel, "A hole is appearing because there's a lack of other approved vaccines." A shot from Moderna is expected to be cleared by the European Medicines Agency on January 6th. Germany urged the EMA to also quickly approve a vaccine developed by Oxford University and AstraZeneca, which Britain cleared this week.
Several hundred police shut down an illegal rave in northwestern France on Saturday. It had been underway since New Year's Eve, defying a curfew and restrictions on mass gatherings, according to officials. Around 2,500 revellers from across the country attended the party in a disused warehouse in Yuron, near Rennes. Some clashed with police as soon as the party kicked off on Thursday evening, leading the force to wait for reinforcements to be deployed before moving in to end the rave, according to the head of the local prefecture, Emmanuel Berthier. Those attending the party threw bottles and rocks at police, and several officers suffered minor injuries. A police car also caught fire and 3 others were damaged. Berthier added that about 800 partygoers were sanctioned for attending an illegal party, breaking curfew and not wearing masks. The rest were mostly issued notices for using illegal drugs. There were also at least 5 arrests and sound and lighting equipment was seized. Local prosecutors have opened a probe into the illegal organisation of a music event and violence against persons of authority, the prefecture said. Health authorities have urged partygoers to self-isolate for 7 days.
AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine got the green light in India. The government said Saturday drug regulatory experts have recommended the vaccine developed by AstraZeneca and Oxford University, as well as one backed by a state-run institute. The government of the world's second most populous country said the final decision rests with the chief of the Central Drug Standards Control Organization, but that process is expected to be a formality. First approved by Britain on Wednesday, the AstraZeneca vaccine is cheaper and easier to use than some rival shots, but it has been plagued by uncertainty about its most effective dosage. It is being made locally by the Serum Institute of India. The other vaccine is known as Covaxin. It was developed locally by Bharat Biotech and the government-run Indian Council of Medical Research. Little is known about the results of its clinical trials. India's Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar said 2 other vaccines are awaiting approval, one from India, the other from Russia.
आज भारत शायद एक देश है कि जहां 4 vaccines.
India is perhaps the only country where 4 vaccines are getting ready at one time. Yesterday, Serum's Covishield was approved for emergency use.
India's regulator has also received an emergency use application for the vaccine made by Pfizer and BioNTech. That one was the first to get regulatory approval in the West.
Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif urged US President Donald Trump on Saturday not to be trapped by an alleged Israeli plan to provoke a war through attacks on US forces in Iraq. In a tweet, he said, "New intelligence from Iraq indicates that Israeli agent provocateurs are plotting attacks against Americans, putting an outgoing Trump in a bind with a fake casus belli," adding that Trump should be, quote, "careful of a trap." That warning was issued on the anniversary of the killing of top Iranian General Qasem Soleimani by a US drone strike in Iraq. There was no immediate comment by Israel. Washington blames Iran-backed militia for regular rocket attacks on US facilities in Iraq. No known Iran-backed groups have claimed responsibility. The US military flew 2 nuclear-capable B-52 bombers to the Middle East in a message of deterrence to Iran on Wednesday, but they have since left the region. The commander of Iran's elite Revolutionary Guards Corps, General Hossein Salami, vowed to strike back in the case of any attack on Iran.
Japan is considering issuing a new emergency declaration to tackle the country's record surge in COVID-19 cases. The head of Japan's pandemic response on Saturday said the government needs to consult with health experts before deciding on another declaration. As an interim measure, Economy Minister Yasutoshi Nakamura said restaurants and karaoke parlors in the Tokyo area would be asked to close at 8 p.m., businesses serving alcohol 7 p.m. All this in response to a meeting he held earlier Saturday with the governors of Tokyo and 3 neighboring prefectures. The governors urged a new state of emergency declaration. Tokyo raised its COVID-19 alert level to its highest notch on December 17th. On Thursday, new infections in the capital rose to a record 1,337 cases, and the country set a record with more than 4,500 new cases. But Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga has so far resisted calls to reinstate a national state of emergency.
An indoor mask mandate will be enforced starting Monday in Australia's most populous state as its latest outbreak nears 150 cases. Gladys Berejiklian is New South Wales Premier.
But if you're going shopping or in shopping centres, you have to wear a mask. If you're catching public transport, you have to wear a mask. If you're attending an indoor entertainment venue like a cinema, you have to wear a mask. Places of worship, hair and beauty salons, in gaming areas of establishments, and staff at hospitality venues.
On Sunday, New South Wales reported 8 new COVID-19 cases, and authorities fear those numbers may rise in the coming days, with small clusters popping up in Sydney's west and south. Its largest cluster at Sydney's northern beaches now totals 148 cases. Neighbouring Victoria reported 3 new cases on Sunday, and its borders are shut to New South Wales. Masks have been made mandatory and gatherings limited across the state. Australia has reported nearly 28,500 COVID-19 cases and over 900 deaths since the pandemic began.
Tesla on Saturday reported better than expected 2020 vehicle deliveries, but narrowly missed CEO Elon Musk's ambitious full-year goal. The company said it delivered 499,550 vehicles last year, which was above Wall Street estimates, but was 450 units shy of Musk's targets. Nonetheless, Musk on Saturday tweeted, "So proud of the Tesla team for achieving this major milestone. At the start of Tesla, I thought we had, optimistically, a 10% chance of surviving at all." Congratulations poured in on Twitter after Tesla defied the larger auto industry trends of slumping sales, quarterly losses, and global supply chain disruptions. Tesla's share price has risen more than 700% over the last year, but some investors criticized Tesla for saying at the start of 2020 that it would comfortably exceed 500,000 units for the year. Looking forward, Tesla has pinned hopes on new markets such as Europe and Asia, with competition intensifying in the U.S. as automakers double down on their investments in the electric vehicle sector.
These are the latest stories for today. You may find more on our social media platforms and website. Thank you. Goodbye.